Hey guys, I thought I'd touch base to a post that I did a while ago that was in regards to aggressiveness of groomers in the salon, and I kind of wanted to delve into it a bit more and give you a bit more info as to what's actually happening in a lot of salons. If you don't listen to the media, or half the time it's not even on the media, you wouldn't even know that these situations are happening. Now, I did say a little bit about there is a lot of groomers out there that have mental health problems. Now, I'm okay with mental health problems. I'm a full advocate for mental health problems and helping fix them and people being in the workplace with mental health problems. My family has mental health problems, but there comes a point where if your mental health problems are that bad that you cannot deal with any small amount of stress, and being a groomer, you have a lot of stress every day. You have dogs that want to bite. You have really fearful dogs. You have really nervous dogs. You have dogs that do not stop moving. If you cannot stay calm, if your mental health is that bad that you cannot stay calm, you shouldn't be in this industry. I have seen personally a lot of groomers that do have some full-on severe mental health problems that they can't deal with the stress that you come across in a grooming salon. They get super angry super quick and become aggressive towards the dogs, and that's why these types of situations happen. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown. This is just in America, okay? But this gives you a bit of an indication of how many situations happen on a regular basis. One, Lhasa Apso died in a drying cage. Another one, 2 Yorkshire Terriers died of overheating because the salon dryers failed to shut off. Groomers should have checked that. You should always be checking dryers and the dogs. Another one, a woman took a Newfoundland to a grooming salon, said, be careful with drying, I'd prefer it not to be dried. Now these dogs can be really sensitive to heat. When she got the dog back, the dog was completely dry. He was walking unsteadily. He collapsed, and then in 24 hours, he died. He died from heat exhaustion. Another one, a French bulldog was allegedly strangled to death by a collar that was tied to the grooming table, and he was then left unattended, so he'd obviously slipped off his back legs and hung himself. Why he was left unattended is beyond me. Someone else brought their dog home, realised that their dog's ear had been cut off and glued back on. Another one, a bulldog, died from being choked to death while they were trying to trim his nails. He basically threw up from being so anxious, and he choked on his vomit because one of the groomers had him in a headlock and hadn't realised. Another one, an 8-year-old pug, died after being placed in a head restraint while they were trying to get the nails done. Again, a head restraint on any bracky dog, which is a smushy face dog, you can't headlock them. They already can't breathe, and you're going to restrict their airways even more. If you can't do the nails, just don't do them. Get a vet to do it. Don't put the dog under that type of stress and make for such a worse environment. There's another one here. A dog needed stitches and medication due to a huge cut on its belly and its legs. So stitches were needed on belly and legs. Another one. Someone dropped off their dog at the grooming salon, and then they had to pick it up from the animal hospital with a very bad cut on both of its legs, needing 10 stitches each leg. 10 stitches! That's not just a little cut, that's big. On both legs. Another one, a puppy was rushed to a vet after being strangled on its first ever visit to a grooming salon. A pug collapsed on a grooming table and lost consciousness. The lead that was attached to the table was too tight, and the vet determined that death was due to asphyxiation. Another one, a dog needed 20 stitches as it sustained deep cuts on its abdomen. 20 stitches. Another one, a Shih Tzu couldn't walk and was dangling one of his legs. X-rays showed that the dog's hip was dislocated. The dog hadn't had a dislocated leg prior to the grooming. Reportedly, the groomer had admitted to tugging on the dog's leg during the grooming session and had actually dislocated the dog's leg. A woman reportedly discovered raw blood abrasions on the dog's back, and her other dog needed to have its eye removed due to a result of extensive injuries after visiting the groomer. They don't know what happened, but that's the outcome. A Cocker Spaniel needed staples to close 9 deep gashes on its neck after being groomed. A poodle had been very raspy breathing and wouldn't eat or drink after visiting a groomer. So they took it to an emergency vet who needed to perform an emergency tracheotomy but couldn't because the dog's throat and neck were so badly swollen. The dog then went into cardiac arrest and died. They later revealed that the dog had died from the application of physical force to the ventral neck region. Again, the dog was clearly strangled or held too tight, and the dog died. There is about another 5 or 6 that I can read. These are just from the internet that I found. Again, these are just in America, but there's some pretty full-on situations, and there's quite a lot that are happening that really could be avoided. To delve into some more local ones, so these are ones that have happened in Australia. So all over the states, in Australia. I'm going to put these up on my Instagram and Facebook. I've blocked out the name of the actual grooming salon, but they're readily available on the internet, so you can find them anywhere. Let me explain. So, someone went to the groomer to get a summer cut. Everything seemed well until they got home and their dog kept licking its butt and realised that there was a huge cut on the butt, needed stitches. They were horrified. The groomer refused to take any responsibility. Today, I witnessed, now get this is someone that didn't even take their dog to the salon. A customer in the store witnessed this. Today, I witnessed an employee, the dog groomer, viciously abusing a German Shepherd in the dog wash area, hitting and repeatedly hitting around the head. I don't understand why or how that happens. And why are they even working with dogs? Another one, their dog got out from the grooming salon. It still hasn't been found. The grooming salon never called them when it first got out. They called them a while after, and they still don't have their dog. There's another one, this was in 2017, but still, and the RSPCA were investigating a dog groomer who was hitting a dog, was seen through the window. There's another one, shocking images have emerged of a groomer beating his own dog, so his own dog that he had in the salon. Let's see, another groomer, which is quite local, was reported abusing the dog. She choked the dog and she shook the dog. An employee actually had enough and started taking videos of this groomer doing it. Now, she was the owner of the business. And look, to be honest, the list goes on and on. Another recent one, don't mind my cat. Another recent one that you may have heard in the news was a dog dying at a chain store in Melbourne because he beat the dog to death basically with the dryer. And again, as you can see, there's so many cases of this happening over in America, in Australia. Just be really careful who you take your dog to, because there's clearly far too many people that are working in the animal industry that really shouldn't be, and these situations are happening. And I, for one, feel that there needs to be some form of registry or something for us groomers, that if we were to hire someone, we need to know, have they been fired, you know, what and why. Because if it hasn't gone through the court system and they've been charged, then we wouldn't know, and we could hire someone that maybe has beaten a dog or has choked a dog or has, you know, caused death to a dog. Then there needs to be, you know, more around. And also, you as owners need to really be aware that this is such a regular occurrence, and you need to be so careful with who you take your dog to. So I know it's really awful to hear these things. It's not nice for me to know, and it angers me so much that there are groomers out there that are still grooming that should not be grooming, should not be around animals at all. But I just hope that maybe some owners out there will take this on board, realise and really look into the groomer that they're taking their dog to, and just be very, very careful.